live. Jingle, 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 all those bells, we're going live. Hello and welcome.
Hello, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! And welcome to the Liz and Skatz channel.
Indeed.
We have to do the theme. Here is our little theme.
Let's
for you.
see if I can do it this week.
Yes. La da 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 da.
Yay!
Yes!
It's the first week ever that I've managed to do it.
Fabulous.
Hurrah and huzzah.
Yes.
Welcome
Hurrah
and Merry
huzzah.
Christmas to you all. It's
Yes.
lovely to see you, lovely to have you all back. I'm sorry we're a little bit earlier this week, but we are partying this evening online, I hasten to add, online
Yes.
with some friends of ours. So we wanted to do this first, and then we will be going off and having something to eat, and then having a little
Yes, it's actually a murder mystery, which is very festive.
mystery
Very
evening.
festive. So, yes, so it's party time again. We had a bit of a party last week, and we told you the sort of foods that we might be eating at Christmas, and the sort of foods that we might be making.
Yeah.
And today we are going to show you some of these awesome recipes that have been made. There's a plate over here just out of camera, and we'll be testing them out. Yes. And we also have a selection of cheeses. We've got more cheese than an Ed Sheeran gig
We have.
right here at the moment, and we'll take you through those as well, and some sort of cheesy biscuits that that I made, which are actually made of cheese. They're not just for cheese, they're cheesy because we can't have wheaty biscuits.
Keto.
So all of these things are keto friendly. They're also gluten free, because if there's any flour in them, it's almond flour or coconut flour. I think there may be in one of them. And they're also veggie as well, I think. Yes. Maybe some of the cheese isn't.
Depends on which the cheese that we've used, because some of the cheese is not vegetarian.
No, but the sweets are veggie. Well, there's butter in one of them, so
not vegan.
not vegan.
But
yes,
veggie.
but veggie. And let's show you this first of all.
Let's just
I was
do-
going to show you this.
We need a background for this so you
Da-
can see
da-
it.
da-
Look
da.
at that.
Love and peace at Christmas. We always say peace and love, don't we? Well, this actually was a present from our daughter Ashley, who makes things. She's a fabulous designer, and this actually, we got this. It was supposed to be for last Christmas,
Oh, year before.
or the year before,
2 years ago, yeah.
but it arrived in September. The September after the Christmas it was supposed to arrive, and it was in an envelope marked. This has been sent from Canada, and Ashley doesn't live in Canada. She lives in the UK.
So we're all a little
And,
bit confused as to why it went all that way.
Yeah, it's because she didn't put the Republic of Ireland on the envelope. She just put Kerry, and there's a Kerry in Canada. So apparently it went all the way to Canada, and then somebody realised that should have been for
Isn't
Ireland.
that
And
amazing?
9 months later, it
And
arrived,
here it is.
and there it is. So
So
we
it's
thought we'd point
great.
that. That's a lovely little Christmas story
Yeah.
for you. It's almost like Lassie Come Home, isn't it? With,
Aw.
here it is. It came home.
What was that thing where all the pets decided to go when the people moved and left the pets behind? Was it
Oh,
the journey? Something, I don't know.
yes,
Answers, please, in the live chat.
yes.
If you want to contact us to ask questions, we've got live chat. I've got one here and one there. So if you want to ask us any questions, please do,
Yes.
because we love to hear from you, or just give us a wave
Yes.
and let us know you're with us, because it's
Isn't
lovely
it?
to hear from
An
you.
emoji way. An emoji
And if
wave.
you're watching afterwards, then please do ask questions in the comments, because although it is sort of Christmas and we'll be doing less and less things online, particularly over the next couple of days, we will get round to answering your questions at some point. So,
We
and
will
I'm sure
do,
you
yes.
it won't be like a keto emergency 2
That's
days
right.
before Christmas. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
So just ask away.
that's right. We might even do another live stream in between this one and the next one, in case we don't bring out any recorded videos.
Yeah, because we're being a bit kind of Christmassy, and
Yeah.
our son is home.
Yeah.
We love
yes.
him.
Hello, Oscar.
And he's home at the moment, so it's lovely to have him with us, and we just want to spend time with him. And in light of, sorry to mention it, but in light of recent news, it's looking like we're going to be going back into a county-wide sort of, we have to stay put, which means that Oscar will have to go home a little bit earlier because he's on placement. he's going to be working in a community hospital when he gets back in the new year, so he needs to go home and isolate just in case.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
he's perfectly fine, don't worry, but we just need to make sure he's okay. So.
And because everybody's separated and locked down, and it's a good time for us to try and feel a bit closer to everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to have a look at some Christmas traditions from somewhere else in the world, as well as the sort of things that we will be eating, because we're going to be we're hoping to go and have a look at Spain next year. So we're going to bring you some Christmas traditions from Spain and tell you all about them, because they've got some really interesting things. And actually on Christmas Eve we're going to have a Spanish Christmas dinner. So that'll be lovely.
Because the majority of Europe, it would seem, apart from Great Britain and Ireland, do their main Christmas thing, their main Christmas gathering is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I know the French and the Spanish and the Italians and the Germans, Austrians and Swiss as well, they all do Christmas on Christmas Eve. And Christmas Day is kind of like the let's just get over all the food we've eaten kind of day.
Yeah.
Whereas for Britain and Ireland, Christmas Day is the day. We don't open presents until Christmas morning. Tell us your Christmas traditions.
Yes.
What do you do? Do you open your Christmas? Do you have one present on Christmas Eve and then save them all for Christmas morning? Or do you wait until after? Some people I know don't do Christmas until after they've eaten dinner.
Yeah.
So they won't open their presents until after dinner. It's not about the presents really for us.
No.
Although we do enjoy it.
We do have
It's
two
fun.
kind of present openings, don't we? We have the stocking first,
Yeah.
the Christmas stocking first, which we open, as soon as we get up in the morning, and then
Yeah.
we do that first, and then we have a little bite to eat, and then we open the presents that are under the tree. So that's our tradition, and it has been like that.
And then we just chill
Yeah.
and get silly and help, and we all cook dinner together, and it's just really, really
That'll be
nice.
fun, and we'll tell you what we're eating in just a moment. But what we're going to do first is try some of the cheese.
Oh no!
Now let me show you this plate here. As I said, these are the cheesy biscuits which have now gone cold, but I put them under the grill because I made these 2 or 3 days ago. And we have all of these different ones. Let's see. For a start, we went for a vintage cheddar, which is lovely. You don't want any of that, do you?
I'm not bothered about the cheddar.
Let's try something a bit more special. This one
Give me
here.
that one.
That one there. Well, yes. This one, I'll need to put it down to it. Actually, let me just show you these before we move them out of the way. These were also made by our daughter Ashley, and these are the Christmas stockings. Unfortunately, they're too small to put in the presents. Normally, we buy lots of little presents to go in here.
But we've been a bit mad this year.
But because of a lot of the shops have been closed, we had to buy presents that were a bit bigger. So there's going to be this and some other kind of container. Anyway, so we'll move that out of the way.
Duvet cover.
And we will try a piece of the... this is
the port
infused Stilton.
Soaked Stilton.
So that
Bring it
use
on.
your fingers for that. We do have
Fingers is fine.
Christmas napkins here, which are delightful. So
Cheers.
we'll definitely be needing them. Cheers.
Oh my god.
No, it's very, very
That
good.
is so nice.
And it's kind of a taste of home for us.
Yeah.
Although we don't call Leicestershire home anymore, but Stilton is all made in Leicestershire. The proper stuff.
Melton Mowbray.
Melton Mowbray, yes.
Along with the pork pies.
Yes, absolutely. And it's,
So let's try the other
it's all
Stilton.
official. Let's try the other Stilton. It's just going to have that Stilton on there as well.
Oh god, how awful.
There you go, that's your piece.
So
And
here's the Stilton. This is the sort of thing that we're going to be kind of just having a snack on, throughout, if we fancy something to eat. So this is just the ordinary Stilton.
that's really creamy.
Really creamy.
Oh, I like that one.
Well, that's good.
Let me try some on a cracker.
Yeah.
There you go, you have that one.
I'll have a cracker.
Which one would you like, the port
They're
one?
not terribly cracky.
Is it to try more of the port one on a cracker? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You try the port one on a cracker, and I'll try the other one on a cracker.
I'm trying not to get crummies.
Yeah. I didn't say what the crackers were made of. These have actually got the vintage
God,
cheddar
that's
on
good.
them. That's very good, isn't it? Vintage cheddar and mozzarella. I would advise you not to make crackers that are supposed to crack when you bite into them with mozzarella.
It's a bit stringy. It's normally the cheese that they put on top of pizzas, isn't it? So.
And I'll use some almond flour as well to bind that, and maybe an egg as well.
These are really good.
Yeah, aren't they?
A really strong flavour.
So, the other thing, you might remember the adverts for this.
Du pain.
Du vin, du pain, du boursin.
Yeah, well, we've only got the boursin.
And this is...
we haven't got the vin or the pain.
No, we're not drinking quite this early on the day. So this is one with black pepper and something else in it, isn't it?
Garlic.
Garlic and black pepper.
No, everybody's just watching us eat.
Well, we're giving our opinion
This
on it.
is like cheese porn, really. Well, it is, it's true.
Now that is nice on the biscuit.
That is really nice on the biscuit.
That is possibly the best one.
Yeah.
Now what's this? Oh, that's Sant'Agor.
Okay.
I think that's the right pronunciation. That's gorgonzola.
Oh, jeez.
Definitely having a bit of that. You have that chunky bit.
I've got a bit too much cheese for the biscuit. There we go.
Gorgonzola.
What's your ratio?
Yeah, we did go to Italy.
Oh.
And
a year last October was our last holiday.
We went to a market, a little outdoor market.
Tiny little. We were in the mountains in Italy, and it was absolutely stunning.
Oh my god!
Really close. We were in Tuscany. We were really close to Florence and Lucca, which is possibly one of the best places I think I've ever been in my life. I absolutely love Lucca. We just had a ball there, didn't we? It was just fantastic watching. Did. So. So we went to Lucca, but we were staying in this tiny little hamlet in the mountains, and they had, in the next village along, they had a little market. Only about 4 or 5 stalls, weren't there? But one of them was a guy who rears his own cows and goats and sheep and makes his own cheese. Oh my God. I could have run away with him. Sorry, Skatz, but I could have run away with this guy because
I could have run away with the guy.
Mr. Cheese.
Chasing him going, I want your cheese.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we could have just had him adopt us, couldn't he? That would have been a nice way of doing it.
I'm going to have some more Sant'Agor, because that on the biscuit is lovely. Sant'Agor is a blue cheese. I don't know where it's from or whether I'm pronouncing it right. It sounds French to me.
It is en France.
The French are good at cheese. I also love Roquefort. We both do. But we haven't bought any this Christmas.
We haven't, have we?
Because we kind of thought maybe we've got enough cheese.
We bought like 50 quid worth of cheese from Tesco.
We did. I don't think you can have too much cheese, to be honest.
We bought so much cheese.
As we've proved, I'm going to have a bit of this cheddar.
Because it's keto friendly, so we just went, well, hey, let's go for all the best cheese we know.
So that's a cheddar biscuit with some vintage cheddar.
There's not enough. There's not enough biscuits.
Right.
Can I try some of your?
Yeah, just have a go at that.
Chipotle.
This is Chipotle. Chipotle.
Crack me up when he said Chipotle.
So it's good. Red Leicester. Again, a taste of where we used to live, the county we used to live in before we moved to Ireland.
Oh.
We didn't have decent Red Leicester until we
moved here.
Until we discovered this actually in Tesco.
Really?
Other shops are available. It is really nice. It's got black pepper and chipotle.
Spicy. That's lovely. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's something else.
And we should have had this plain red Leicester first.
Of course, now we've had explosion of chilli.
Because this is.
But hey, is that the proper nutty?
That's the very nutty plain red Leicester, which is amazing stuff.
The only time, if anybody knows Leicester, they will know the indoor market, and the market was, and I think still is, one of the biggest markets in Europe. And it's permanent. It's permanently up. It's not seasonal or anything. It's always there. And they also had an outdoor market, but an indoor market as well. And inside they used to have the fish and the meat, but they always used to have the cheese man as well. Sadly now, dearly departed.
And the market is the largest in.
That's what I said.
Largest covered market in Europe.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I wasn't. I was busy eating Sant'Agor.
Cheese heaven. So we used to go to this fantastic cheese man. Of course, the family have continued on with the tradition, thank goodness, because they were amazing. And we always used to go, and they always used to like give you little corners of it and let you try it. And that was the best red Leicester I'd ever tried, until we got the Tesco's Finest Which is this one.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm just going to eat it on its own.
It's amazing. Yes.
Nutty and...
I have a confession to make. I committed a crime, apparently. I chopped off the nose of the brie.
It's bad.
Apparently
Debbie, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
Apparently it's a
French thing.
It's a capital offence in
Don't cut
in
off
France.
the nose of the brie.
I'm going to do it now.
Oh,
Would you like the nose or the next bit?
I'm not sure.
I'll have the nose, seeing as it's my crime.
I've committed so many nose crimes in the past.
I think this is an Irish brie. Oh, is it?
No, it's a French brie.
Oh, it's French. Well, it's one of the big names.
It's not good enough for me yet. I like my brie
It's
crawling
not
off the
matured.
plate.
Mm.
In
Well,
fact,
that
if
is nice.
you do like brie that's like that, then you should just leave it out. And you will soon know when it's ready because you'll smell it when you come in the kitchen.
Brie is the one you should eat first because
Yeah.
the other flavours take it up. But now I'm tasting the really nice creamy brie.
It's lovely.
It's come through. So we're nearly done on the cheese now. I'm just going to finish off the chipotle.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's all right. We'll move that one out of the way now.
Oh, that.
What's this? Right,
The pork.
You want any more of this? That's the boursin. You have that one. I'll finish the cheddar. You're not that fond of the basic cheddar. I think this is a really nice cheddar.
I'm just a bit of a cheese snob, I think.
Mm.
And I think it's years of growing up with a fantastic cheese guy on the market. And
That's his real name, Cheese Guy.
It is Cheese Man. Cheese Man is the man. But yeah, he basically has just spoilt me forever. And now, just buying regular flipping cheese from the local supermarket is just not. It's just not. Never ever good enough. So
They've discovered that these knives, this is a proper cheese knife. They're not really that good for cutting cheese, but they're great for, with that bit, stabbing the cheese and picking it up. Like so. Anyway, that's enough of the cheeses for now. That's the savouries. We'll talk about some of the savouries that we eat for Christmas dinner in a moment.
I'm really sorry the cheese part is over.
Yeah.
Because that was sensational.
What comes next is this. And this is a rather lovely cheesecake, which is kind of a yoghurty cheesecake. I'll give you the recipe in a second. And this is a butter shortbread cookie. Oh, nice.
Really, really nice.
And this is some, what did I call this? I'll have to look on my screen there. I've got to give it the proper name. Peanut butter and Brazil nut chocolate brittle. That's why I couldn't remember, because it's too long. And that's just amazing stuff. Extremely easy to make. I've got the cheese burps now. And then these beautiful chocolate balls.
They're so pretty.
Yeah. These are rum hazelnut truffles. Absolutely. I think we should do that first.
Sorry,
Huge.
I'm a sucker for
Just
a
be
truffle.
careful with these. They're potent.
Okay. Oh my God.
These make you giggle, unable to speak. They've got more rum than they should have, according to the recipe.
They're not actually as rummy as the last ones.
They are.
Are they?
Maybe they don't taste it, but
Okay.
they've got at least half as much again.
Oh my God.
It's got 3 tablespoons of rum in the whole. And there are only about 10 of these, I think.
Damn.
You'll have another one of them at the end. Because it's impossible to speak.
Wow.
Oh, lovely.
So what's in then?
Well,
Tell me.
let's have a look. In those,
Oh my God.
cream cheese, butter. There's twice as much cream cheese as there is butter. If you want the full recipe for these, just ask me below and I'll give you all the ingredients and the amounts. Loads of cocoa powder. Also some sweetener. Now, these two really chocolatey ones, I used the liquid stevia.
Which is just stevia. Nothing
Which
else
is
in it.
perfect. And I'll tell you why in a second, because I made these two chocolatey ones today. and I made them like that for a reason. There's also rum, of course, in those, and crushed hazelnuts. Lovely, the hazelnuts and chocolate, the perfect combination, I think.
Yes, not too sweet.
Not too sweet.
I like that. I like the not too sweetness.
Moving from a not too sweet to a slightly too sweet.
Stupidly sweet one.
Because when I made this yogurt cheesecake with baked almond flour, some ginger, some butter, sweetener, cream. The topping is cream cheese, some Greek yogurt, some more sweetener, some heavy cream, some lemon, and some vanilla extract.
Now, all these sweeteners are natural, we hasten to add.
Yes.
They're sugar alcohol
sugar.
They are stevia. They're not
Well, actually,
sugar.
the sweetener that I used for these ones has got erythritol and stevia in it because it was a granulated one. Now, I think I put too much in there. We've eaten most of this now. And erythritol can give you some bloating, some wind if you have too much of it.
And we have...
And I think I put too much of it in there.
I'm still going to have an extra.
Well, I'm not complaining. It is a bit kind of powdery.
It really does feel
You can feel the crunch of the sugar.
I'm still going to have a bit more.
Oh, yeah.
I'm willing to pay the
There's
price.
only one more little bit of this left. Yeah. No, it's very nice. Sorry for talking with my mouth full, but you have to keep it going, don't you? That's enough of that one, I think.
Yeah, that's
Then there's this,
way too...
which is also... This is a butter shortbread cookie. Basically, softened butter and almond flour, coconut flour, and the sweetener with erythritol in it, the granulated one. And it's because these two came out too sweet, and with the erythritol gave us a bit of wind, that I decided not to use that powdered one and use the liquid stuff instead on the chocolate recipes. So I think I'd be prepared to use it again, but just a little bit less of it.
Not as much. You don't need as much as you do with sugar. That's the thing. They say that you should use half the amount
There you go.
that you would
bit of
use.
that one.
I'm only going to take...
This has almond flour, coconut flour, sweetener, a bit of baking powder, a little pinch of salt, and some vanilla extract. Very basic butter cookie, and it's a really good consistency.
Yeah, good consistency.
I'm very pleased with that.
Fab. Really
And I
does
tried
taste
it.
like shortbread.
It does. It's spot on, isn't it?
Yeah.
I pinched that recipe from the internet, so thank you to whoever that was. I did change it slightly.
Yeah.
And
So what's last?
yeah, what's last is this stuff. You have to pick that up with your own fingers.
Okay.
This is the brittle.
Going for the tiny one.
The what did I call it? Peanut butter and Brazil nut chocolate brittle, which is just divine. It's softened off a little. So this has very strong 90% chocolate and some cacao nibs,
That'll
some
do it.
sweetener, a little bit of coconut oil just to allow everything to mix together. Peanut butter, quite a lot of peanut butter. There's more in this one than I did the last one.
I can tell that.
And some crushed Brazil nuts. And I've got salt question mark on my screen there, but I didn't put any salt in it.
You don't need it.
No. Sometimes it brings out the flavour of the other ingredients in
Don't
chocolate.
need it.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
I think there's salt in the peanut butter.
And I had that in the freezer. And actually it's really good straight out of the freezer. I'll probably put less peanut butter in this time. But when it's really, really cold, the peanut butter isn't as sticky on the top of your mouth.
That's nice.
So,
Now we need to go and have a lie down because we're all totally...
well, actually, no, I won't be able to lie down because of all of the caffeine in the chocolate, I think.
Yeah.
Especially that, what was it, 90% chocolate. Very good. So what we're going to have for Christmas dinner, we're talking about... We went to the butcher's today and we bought the bird, which is a cockerel. It's going to be slow roasted. Well, it's going to be roasted.
No, it'll be roasted.
No,
It won't be
it's
slow
just roasted. It'll be quite slow. It'll be slow compared to what we normally do.
You can't do slow cooked poultry. Doesn't work.
You did it with the chicken, didn't you? Did it a bit lower?
I just did it on a lower temperature, but then that was just because our oven is like a volcano.
Yeah. So we'll just do that then.
Sometimes it needs to be a little bit... needs to be tamed somewhat.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Peanut butter in my throat.
And we're going to have some roasted parsnips and carrots, maybe some roast potatoes.
So definitely roast potatoes because it'll be my feast day.
Mm-hmm.
And some root vegetables. We don't normally have root vegetables because they do contain considerable more starchy stuff, which ends up being glucose. So we try and avoid those. But as I'm doing this kind of metabolic switching thing right now, which is where 1 day a week, or this week it'll be 2 days a week, which is fine, I come out of ketosis and concentrate on ingesting some high carb, but I don't do sort of junk food. I'll be doing things like potatoes and root vegetables, which will boost up my carb intake to roughly about 150 grams, which I'm normally doing 20 grams of carbs. So
this plate is about 150 grams. No, it's not.
No, there's hardly any carbs in that.
It is very low carb. Actually.
I think the biscuity stuff is the stuff with the almond flour in is going to be the stuff with the most carbs in because it's got almond flour, and although almonds are low in carbs, they're lower than wheat, obviously, flour, but they're higher in carbs than a lot of other things.
You'd think those big chocolatey balls would be made of butter and cream.
You would, wouldn't you? They'd be the worst thing for you, but actually they're one of the best things for you.
They are high in calories, but we don't care.
Chocolate actually contains quite a lot of magnesium, so it's actually really good for you.
Chocolate is healthy. That's what you wanted to hear at Christmas, wasn't it? Yes.
Obviously not 500 bars of it, but
not the really low in chocolate sugar. Chocolate sugar? What am I talking about?
I don't know, darling.
Not the...
Have you had one of my tablets?
No. No, I'm going the opposite way. My brain is moving faster than my mouth.
Yeah, the stuff that contains the most cocoa, which is the sort of the 90% plus, is they contain very little sugar, if any at all, and so they're the ones that we tend to go for. So 90% and over. Yeah.
We had some 100% the other day.
We had some 99% the other day, and I think
strong.
that just kind of sent me into overdrive. That was just...
Yes.
I got a lot of cleaning done, let's put it like that. So other than that, we'll probably have the usual kind of veggies, Brussels, carrots and cabbage and broccoli, leeks if we can get them, because leeks are not always on the shelves here in rural Ireland. So... and I'm going to do like a gravy. I'm going to start the gravy tomorrow night or tomorrow in the day. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start the gravy, which is basically going to be, I've got some chicken wings and I'm going to put them in the slow cooker with a bat ton of garlic, just chopped in half. So about 4 bulbs of garlic, maybe a small onion, and then some lots and lots and lots of lovely herbs. And just add water and leave it to do its thing, and then I will add it to the fat from the bird when it comes out tomorrow.
Make lovely gravy. So, and it's now keto gravy.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I used to do was kind of like a roux, which would be I'd put a couple of tablespoons of wheat flour into the fat of the bird that had just come out, or the fat of the meat that had just come out, but of course I can't do that anymore because a tablespoon of wheat flour is about 6 grams of carbs. So that's quite a lot really when you're only on 20 grams of carbs a day. So we'd rather, thank you, we'll keep that to a minimum. And so what I use now is xanthan gum, which has just turned out to be the best thing ever.
It doesn't have much of a taste, does it?
It doesn't taste of anything.
Yeah.
And it's a natural thing. I had like a tiny amount of it. I think I did like 1/4 teaspoon in the last lot of gravy, and that was it. And if the gravy still tastes a bit naff, I'll just add some cream.
I like that, but we normally have sauces with cream anyway, so that's perfect. So that's the Christmas dinner, and we probably won't eat much after that. Normally we say, we've got loads of snacks for later and loads of cheese, and chocolates and a Christmas pudding, but we can never eat anything.
We never eat it all. We never eat it all, and we've always got chocolates left over, and we've always got Christmas pudding left over, and we've always got such and such left over.
Oh, we didn't mention the stuffing and the pigs in blankets.
Oh.
We bought this time, instead of buying sausage meat, which has got rusk in it or something like that, some wheat product, we've just bought. We asked the butcher to mince up some pork for us with lots of fat in it, and I'm actually going to add some more fat, I think, to it. To the pigs in blankets, we've got some goose fat. That's going to be interesting. Goose fat with sausages. But anyway, and some onions and sage and pepper and paprika and maybe an egg yolk. That's for the pigs in blankets set. And then you're going to make the stuffing with
I need to
the rest of it.
Make that at some point today, but I don't think that's going to be happening now because
No, I can do that tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, I think, would be good because it's good for it to sit in its own, in all the herbs and the seasoning. All I've ever done is just get pork mince or sausage meat when I used to do sausage meat, but I'm using pork mince this year. I'm just going to add finely chopped onions and fresh sage and salt and pepper, and that's it. Nothing else.
It.
You don't need anything else.
That's all you need. And
then just mix it all up together and just leave it. Into the fridge it goes, and then I won't see it again until Christmas Day, and it'll be fabulous. I don't tend to stuff the bird either, because that really does mess with the bird, but I shall just do it in a little tray. So it's a separate thing.
Indeedy. So let's move on from that food there. I'm going to push that away from me because I'm so tempted to eat a lot of that chocolate now, and that won't be good for me because we're having our dinner in less than an hour. So, let's talk about what Spanish people do for their Christmas. Some of their Christmas traditions, and I've got 4 traditions that they have. Now, we mentioned having the main meal on Christmas Eve. That is normally roast lamb. Sometimes they have fish. I noticed when we watched a cooking show.
Yeah,
Rick Stein was there. And he has lots of Spanish friends, but generally it's roast lamb. That's the big meal. But there's also another big feast day, and that's on January the 5th, which is the eve of Epiphany. And that meal includes something called the King's Cake, which is a crown made of brioche, stuffed with cream and covered in candied fruit to look like jewels. And there are some little ceramic toys hidden inside, which the lucky ones can find. And it's very lucky if you get one of those in a piece of your brioche. And but unfortunately, there are also some uncooked fava beans in there for the unlucky ones. And so it's potluck what you get in there.
I've actually heard that they don't put the fava beans in.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like the rumour of putting coal in your stocking if you're not nice. If you've been bad, you get a fava bean. So there you go. Different ways of frightening children into doing the right thing.
Bribery and scared.
Now, we mentioned Epiphany. Epiphany is a really, really big date on the Spanish Christmas because that is traditionally when the presents are received. And they're not brought by Santa Claus. They're brought by the 3 wise men. So hence the king's crown on the night before. So yes, it's part of the 12 days of Christmas.
12th day, because that's 12th night. It's 5th or the 6th. I can't remember which. But anyway.
The 6th, yeah, that's that. And they have parades and they hand out sweets to the children. And
it's a huge thing.
It is.
Love to be there. Be cool.
And of course, more recently, Spanish children do get presents on Christmas Day as well because it's difficult to stop them watching television from other places in the world where that happens.
Watching all the Christmas films, it's all Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the second tradition. The third tradition is something really interesting. Is they have this huge lottery, the biggest lottery in the world, and that was on the 22nd of December. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
And the total prize pot this year was 2.4 billion euros.
2.4 billion.
And one ticket costs you just under 500 euros.
What?
Or you can buy a part share of a ticket, and it's basically a 5-digit number that you buy. And because the tickets are so expensive, it means that what people normally do is they club together in huge groups and all buy tickets together. So they all gather round the TV, and it's a huge celebration that they have on that day every year.
And does some of the money go to charity as well?
It's
Is it like a charity lottery?
Well, I presume so, yes. Yeah, that's what it's about.
That's lovely.
But it's certainly because the pot is so big. There is one big winner, but there's lots and lots of draws. There's about 1,800 different numbers that are drawn. So the chances of winning something are 1 in 7.
Wow.
So it's so
El
you can.
Gordo.
I mean, obviously, if you're doing a 20th share of a ticket and you win the €200 prize, you're only going to get a 20th of that. So it's less than your ticket price of $19.99, which is the 1/20th share. Anyway, it's all very complicated.
The lottery is called El Gordo.
El Gordo, the big fat one. That's what that means.
Very brilliant.
Yeah. So it's basically huge tradition, and almost everybody in Spain buys a ticket. That's the thing. So that's what's made it a big tradition. And
people outside of Spain buy tickets too. So
yes, you're allowed to buy.
I know people.
I actually bought one. We were going to buy one, and then I bought one at the last minute. Yeah.
For €400?
No, not the €400. I got the 20th share, and we didn't win, unfortunately. No. There we go. There is a story of a whole town who bought a set of numbers between them, and they won the 955 million top prize and shared it out amongst them all, except for one man in the village who didn't take part.
Oh my God!
I know.
Did they not just give him some money?
Well, I think I would have given him a share.
I would have given him a bit. It's like Ross off of
our friends.
Our friends who didn't want to buy it because he was like bar humbug to the lottery, and they ended up buying a ticket for him.
Yeah, and then they lost the tickets. They all got thrown out the window.
By the crazy big pigeon.
Yes.
So El Gordo.
El Gordo. So the fourth tradition that I want to tell you about is what somebody online called December Fool's Day. It's got a different name, but it's the 28th of December, which was my dad's birthday. It's a kind of a pranks day, just like April Fool's Day. And so you have to watch yourself, because there's going to be a prankster somewhere. Or if you don't do pranks, you dress up in a wig. People dress up in lots of different wigs.
I'll do the wig.
That's the tradition.
I'll go for the wig.
Which I think is great. So it's lovely to hear about these traditions.
So many different things. Because like for us, it's like Christmas Eve, which wasn't... as a Christmas Eve, one of the weird things I was talking to Skatz about the other day was that in the UK, probably not this year, but sometimes in the UK, before 2020... one used to be able to go to the pub on Christmas Eve. You can't do that here.
No.
The pubs are shut at like 5 or 6 or something.
Oh no, they changed it recently. I think they're open till about 11 or 11:30.
Oh,
but there was never any gigs, because normally gigs don't start here until 10:30 in the evening. Okay. So it wasn't worth having live music.
Sorry, I thought, because I was talking to you about it and you didn't mention anything then.
Well, I did, because I'd been to. Anyway, We'll talk about this afterwards.
Okay. So we've not been able to go out for a drink, and I used to really like going out on Christmas Eve. Meeting up with some friends, just having a couple of drinks and then going home, and then doing the stockings and then going to bed, and it was all really lovely. Or back when I was a teenager, we used to go to the pub and then go to the carol service at midnight. Used to go to midnight mass.
And that must be great, because loads of people fresh out of the pub singing Christmas carols in the church. God.
It was loud,
but
it was fabulous, absolutely brilliant.
So there you go. So that was of course so that's in the UK. Christmas Eve, the traditions. Christmas Day is the big day. Then there's Boxing Day, which used to be the day when you get your presents in the UK traditionally.
Was it?
That's why it's called Boxing Day.
I thought it was Boxing Day because you give charity in a box at Christmas church.
Yeah, that's not what I heard. But it used to be the Presents Day. There was feasting on Christmas Day and then gifts the following day.
Okay, all right.
There.
The different things that you hear, obviously, history has got different things. I was always told it was because you used to put money in a box on Christmas Day.
Maybe that happened too.
To give money to charities.
Of course, in Ireland, it's not called Boxing Day. It's called
St Stephen's Day.
Or just Stephen's Day.
Yeah, it's a different thing altogether. I don't know what happens.
And
you could tell us. don't know.
The other one in Ireland is the night of either the 5th or the 6th of January.
5th is Women's Christmas.
Women's Christmas, they call it, which is when women get a break from doing the washing up and doing the household chores. Sexist, I know, but that's the tradition. And they're allowed to go out and enjoy themselves while the men look after the homes
And the children.
So
that was it. One day a
it's a
year,
very odd
women got
and
off.
outdated tradition.
But now what happens is that a group
they all go out.
It's like girlfriends, and they'll all get together and they'll all pile out for something to eat and to drink and boogie the night away and just have a really nice night. It's like
It's another excuse for an Irish party in a pub.
Absolutely.
And
there are many of them.
There should be
it's
more.
Fabulous. Quite right.
Yes.
But of course that probably won't be happening this year either.
No, not at all, because it's all shutting down on Christmas Eve night.
Next year, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're locking down here again Christmas Eve night, and we're not quite sure what's going to be happening, but we think it probably is going to be until the end of January that we'll be locked down. There you go. So yeah,
there we go. But as long as we're healthy and as long as you're healthy, that's the most important thing. We will be giving you some helpful hints and advice about how to get back to keto if you've fallen off the wagon, and or just to get back in the swing of it, whether you have or not. We'll be doing that in January. Next week on the live stream, we'll be looking back at the wonderful year that was 2020, how marvellous it was, and seeing if we can pick it apart and tell you all of the good stuff, because there was a lot of good stuff. Certainly some good stuff from our end. We lost lots of weight between us.
Well, and
our lives have completely changed.
They have, and there's so much that we'd love to be able to tell you, but we can't right now. Until one more thing happens, and then we can tell you.
Yes. And that will be lovely news.
And that will be great news. So look forward to that in the new year. We think it's probably going to be February or March time, so it'll be good.
So until then, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Glad tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us a piggy pudding. Now bring us a piggy pudding. Bring us a piggy pudding and a cup of good cheer. Glad tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, everybody.
And we will see you soon. Peace and love. Stay healthy.
Yeah.
And be good to each other.
Yeah, look after each other. Like me Christmas tree.
Yes. Jingle, jingle bells. Goodbye for now.
See you next week.